Hello, welcome to the call center. How can we make your day better?
Press 1 for some laughs, press 2 for unfiltered takes, and press 3 to speak to absolutely no one. Because let's be real, we just here for the vibes.
That's right. We're two brown guys with a hotline to all things life, culture, and chaos. So buckle up and enjoy the call.
Yup. What's up, guys? Welcome to the call center. You got your host, Aaron, here, and today we don't have Praveen, but we do have Reby here, who's going to be the co-host for this episode as well. How you feeling, man?
Well, doing okay. Just get done with the interview today. So.
Actually, let's
cool.
talk about that. Talk about interviews. I don't know if you can disclose too much about your job or anything, but let's talk about interviews, man. Let's talk about the job market. Let's talk about what it was like. I know me and you met each other in university, and that's kind of how we started a relationship. So we've also seen each other through our first jobs. What was your mind like before? So let's back it up. What did you want to be when you were a kid?
Well, I actually want to do something with computers for sure.
You knew that as a kid?
Yeah, I was just very interested with computers.
Mm.
So I was thinking computer engineering.
Yeah.
Which I did. I got a degree in computer engineering and electrical engineering, but I'm practicing electrical engineering more.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, because it's kind of weird, because actually I could have gotten an opportunity back then when I was undergrad to like work for this knife company. I don't know if you heard of Costco.
Costco?
No, Costco.
No.
Yeah. So basically, it's like a knife company or whatever, but you're basically going door to door to like sell sell knives, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I think that was the kicker for me, because basically my boss asked me like the next day, hey, that was during like finals week too.
Yeah.
So he was asking me, hey man, you got a choice, you're gonna be selling knives, like today, because you can't miss, you can't miss the second, third day of the job, right?
Okay.
So I was like, oh man.
But what did that have to do with computers?
Huh?
What did that have to do with computers?
No. I was explaining the Cotco thing, with college and stuff, why, computer engineering and electrical engineering was my thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, what happened was he asked me a choice. Hey, you're gonna keep working or, or you're fired, basically.
Yeah.
For some weird reason that night, even though my butt was getting kicked with finals and all this final project, I don't know, man. For some reason, I cried actually. I actually cried for school.
Losing that job? Oh,
school. For school. I was just like, oh man, I guess I really, really love this stuff. Oh,
I love school.
Yeah, computer engineering and electrical engineering as a whole. So that's when I knew. I was like, I think it's this is my calling. Whatever.
So you felt from a young age that that's what you were gonna get into. I don't know if I didn't feel that, bro. Ever since I was little. I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a CEO because that was like the biggest thing, right? And then as I grew up, I was like, oh no, I want to go into the creative arts industry. I really wanted to go to like film, all this type of school. But then I didn't, and my parents not forced, but basically said, do this.
Yeah.
After you do this, you can do whatever you want, right? But they said, you got to do this first. You need to have a safety
I think
net.
I remember that conversation in your old house. Remember that? We had this conversation before.
Yeah.
The one in,
Yeah, explaining that. And so I want to say, I think a lot of people have this negative stigma towards 9 to 5. Do you feel the same way?
I mean, 9 to 5 is good, for security.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. But I don't know. For me, I'm more of like, I'm always pushing for early retirement if we can do that. Was it the FIRE movement? I forget what it's called. I forgot what movement it was. It was a movement for like early retirement, people like that. So I'm always pushing for like, hey, if you can become a business person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you'll have more free time. You have more control of your free time, and you'll earn more money because you're your own boss kind of thing, right?
So I agree, and I mean, I believe in business because I've started businesses.
Yes.
So I believe in business, but I personally don't like the hate that 9-to-5s get, because I'm also like, as I grew up, I've learned to appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I believe in business and I believe in working. I had a meeting one day with, you know how these life insurance people be calling you, bro?
I know this feeling.
I don't remember what they're called, but like, is it Liberty Mutual? Not Liberty Mutual. What are they called?
Are you talking about the pyramid schemes?
Yeah, but like the
Ah,
life,
man, I hate
like the
those.
life insurance, like people, the company that sell life insurance. What's that company in Town Center?
I forgot.
Um,
But I know they're like
yeah.
pyramid schemes though.
So life insurance company, like, you know how they sell, like, they want to get you on term insurance and all that, and they have an amazing sales tactic of why you should, and what if you died to, you know, all this type of stuff. And not saying that's bad, or it's a business, you know what I'm saying, and they making bread. So when I had a conversation with that guy, he was like, you know, don't you want to retire, and like, how would you feel about setting some time apart, blah blah blah, and like, you know, to stop working. And I was like, well, I never want to stop working. And he was like, what? And I said, yeah, I don't ever envision myself not working. Like I told him, I was like, it doesn't matter if I'm working in a 9-to-5 or I do a business. My habit is Monday through Friday, or actually every day,
You
I'm
need to be
almost
working on something.
doing
Yep.
working. So even though like the free time and all this stuff, I'm just like, I do understand how sometimes when you're working a 9-to-5, it's limiting, but at the same time, I always like to think about the question, well, what other thing would you be doing at this moment?
Yes.
Because is it all about just making money and, you know, having fun? Like, sure, I guess, like, the goal is to have fun. But at the same time, like, I feel like you should enjoy what you do. And I also know in my life, I've been graced to really enjoy what I do. That, you know, even though I was put into the field and kind of I had to do it,
Yep.
I've come to really enjoy it. So, like, for you, when you were first getting into the job market, what was that feeling like?
I mean,
That first paycheck, that first, like, all this type of stuff, like when you get to a big boy job.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, getting my feet wet and all these
Yeah.
things. I mean, of course, you're gonna be nervous. You know? You feel like, you know, this is the real world now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Do you remember the first day in the office, like when you walked in and like how it felt? Because working a job, and especially a corporate job, is not like school, bro. You know. So
I
how
felt
did you
so
feel?
dumb.
Why'd you feel dumb?
I don't know. You know, it just feels like everything you learned from school was,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of
Yeah.
just have to like put it in a bag, throw it out the window, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I mean, it was a good time. You know, I remember my first paycheck. I think I think I donated my first paycheck, all of it, to church or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Proud of
Yeah.
you for doing that. I really
Yeah.
support. Hey, if anybody out here, I'm a firm believer on first fruits go to the church. So
Yeah.
I encourage all my friends, and I'm glad to hear Reby doing it as well. It's like, I encourage all my friends, whatever the situation, pray about it. But that first check you get in the job, just give it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
there's
and give it
you know-
cheerfully, give it gratefully, give it like, wow, I'm able to give this much.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, it's a really good it's a good feeling, and it just feels like you're starting off in the right track, you know.
Yeah.
So just being thankful, you know.
Yeah. So for me, man, like when
Always,
I
you know.
first got into so my first official job was Anthem, right? And I remember like walking in that day, bro, and you know, I knew people there, but like the whole, you know, even the weekend before the Sunday night, getting the outfit, getting the shirt, I went and got an Express shirt, you know. I had some gray jeans,
I remember those times.
you know, and I was a lot skinnier then, so I looked, you know, sharper. But I remember walking into the office, and it's like you see this building, you're like, you have a badge now, and you're just like, okay, walking in. And mine was an internship, but I just remember the whole feeling like meeting everybody. And it's not that for me, schools, you know, what you learn in school has nothing related to what you do in real life.
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
But
gotta start
school
from scratch.
also is like a good foundation, right? And so thankfully me and Praveen went to IB and then, of course, university. And so it kind of prepares you for interactions. But
Yes.
The skills you need at work are completely different from the skills you need in university.
Yes.
But the core of everything is you just got to work hard, right?
Yes. I think school just, I mean, bottom line of school is, once you graduate and all these things, you're just basically telling them, hey, I'm teachable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I can learn.
Yeah.
Basically.
I can learn.
And
Look,
homeworks
I paid
is,
to learn. I paid to learn.
Exactly. In
Yeah.
homeworks and tests, that corresponds to
Yeah.
like due dates and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah,
Quality also.
Timeline, yeah.
Exactly.
But I remember, man, so like when I got the first job, I want to take it back a little bit. What was your first interview like? How'd you feel like during your how many interviews did you have before you got your first job?
I think I had 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, during the interview process, though, I don't know. It was weird, man. Like just going back.
Do you enjoy interviews?
It's okay. I
Okay.
think it's more natural to me now. But back then, I'm thinking, let me talk about this. Let me see if it sticks. Just starts throwing.
yeah.
Things like that. But now I think I know how to drive the conversation to my favor.
Yeah.
I think. So I don't know. I guess it's social skills that I've learned all
Yeah.
throughout the years also.
Yeah.
So I know how to like sell myself now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
back then it's kind of just like, hey, it's my senior design.
Yeah.
Let me see if that sticks.
It's
just like
adrenaline rush, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, there was this one time. So I got gifted my first interview. Bro, I didn't have too many interviews, and after that, I've had a bunch of interviews, like looking for other jobs, and before I got to my current company, went through a lot of interviews and whatnot. But the first interview was gifted, and then, bro, like, it amazes me how much you don't know about corporate.
Yes.
Unless you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I had family members who would tell me and teach me, like, hey, when you're applying for this position, these are the words you're supposed to use. This is what this means. And I'm grateful that I had people around me who saw my skills and like pointed me in a direction that translated to corporate, because I would have never known what none of this was, right?
Yep.
So in the interview, I recorded it. I don't know where the video is right now, but
Wait, you were able to record your...
I put a phone in the corner of the room and just recorded
Interesting.
myself just to see what I did, because I've enjoy those moments.
Yeah.
But went there, and some of the questions like I knew beforehand, right? And so I was like, but I was weak at myself at like how I pretended to be like think about the answer even though I knew the answer. But if I fast forward to like interviews after that, I thoroughly enjoy interviews, and even till this day, sometimes like I like interviews for fun, because it also tests your own knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Of like when they ask you a question, can I answer it?
Yep.
Right. But there was this one time, bro, I had an interview. This was years ago, where I interviewed for a company in Seattle. Right. So this was right after my dad passed, and then I was trying to do the whole, multiple jobs. Keep it on the low. Don't share that. But I was doing multiple jobs.
Tax.
And so I was interviewing for a company in Seattle for a data analysis position. Right.
I got a story about that. But
Right. Let's hear your story after this. Yeah. But so when I interviewed them, and so I passed the phone interview, and they scheduled a second one. Right. So the second one, they had like 9 people, and with all videos on. Right.
Oh, wow.
But the thing was, this is where I messed up, because, spoiler alert, I didn't get the job. Right.
Okay.
But what happened was...
This before ChatGPT, right?
Yeah, way before. This is years ago.
Okay.
And then so when I interviewed them, I talk a lot, hence the podcast, right? Hence the things. But that interview, I learned a lesson. That was a technical interview, and they were asking me technical questions, but I was giving them explanations, right? So like if they asked, if you do this, why'd you do that? They just wanted to hear, well, I did this because this, and this. I was saying, well, let me take a step back. So why do I need that result is this. And the reason I did this is this. And, forward along this, and this is the outcome. Like I was giving a whole explanation to a question, right? And so at first they were all smiling, so I didn't think anything of it. But then at the end of the day, I didn't get it. And I was like wondering why. And then I realized every single one of them were technical people. They wanted technical answers and just not for me to talk. They were just testing my knowledge, and I was like, "Dang!" So I didn't get the job, but I learned. So tell us about your data analysis story.
Well, for mine, I mean, you had 2 interviews for yours, right?
Yeah.
And that was an actual like video interview.
Yeah.
Mine was it was a chat interview.
What?
It was a chat. It was via chat.
Wait, was this the recent one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead. Tell them the story, bro. Tell them the story.
That thing was rough, man. Because I actually thought, like, oh yeah, they look at my resume and they said, oh yeah, you're actually like overqualified for this job, blah blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, sweet,
Yeah.
$30-$40 per hour,
Yeah.
That's my second gig. So I don't know. They just told me like, okay, you get the job, blah blah. Right. Next day, it was weird, man, because they told me they were gonna give me a check to buy the equipment, all these things, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I bet, just send it, right? But I already felt like, something's kind of off, right? Because I'm just like, why can't you just send me, the corporate laptops with, the VPN and all the encryptions, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, man, something's off. And the check was they sent it to me by PDF. I wanted the official check, but they told me, oh yeah, we can't send that to you. I don't know. Everything was just perfect, like the timing, because that was during like winter break. Yeah, it's like perfect for scamming people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, I remember putting that check, depositing it. Then it went plus 10,000. Then the next day, it was just negative 20,000 or something. So I was like, oh crap. Let me just lock my account, start calling the, the bank and all these things.
Yeah.
The thing is, the interviewer, he was still chatting me in Microsoft Teams and all these things, right?
Yeah.
He was telling me, don't check with your bank. This is like a normal process, I was like, come on, man. Negative 20? Dude,
yeah.
I'm not messing with that.
Damn, bro. What's been some of the, like, the fun side of, when you get a job or your current job? I know people see jobs as jobs, but like, has there been any scenario where you went to something and you were like, oh, this is fun because of your like perks in the job,
I mean, I had some opportunities to, experience that. Like, I mean, for me, I think it was fun when, when you're working your butt off, right?
Yeah.
Then, you get your products out and you get really nice results, right? The I think the most fun thing about it is when other people that you don't even know start praising you.
Yeah.
Like, Reby did a really good job, blah blah blah. And I don't even know that person because I don't see him, every day, face to face, right? So whenever I have that experience, and then my boss or my boss's boss starts telling me like, hey, so and so, really likes what you did. I'm just like, who's that person again? Yeah. And I was like, he's welcome. It's okay. Yeah. So yeah, that feels good.
Yeah.
Especially if you get bonuses also.
Yeah. When you get bonuses, that's a good feeling. But you're absolutely right, bro. Getting recognition for the work that you do, and especially when it comes from other departments. Yes. It's like that's a really good feeling. Yep. So I appreciate that. Is there any piece of advice that you want to give to people as, we're kind of going into this and, kind of ending the topic of jobs and, whatnot? Of course, like we've gone through many jobs. I've been in the work field for how many years? Almost in 2 years, it'll be 10, right? So almost 10 years, right? Working in the field, which is crazy. I've been working for 8 years. Wow. Okay. So, and you've been working for, I think you were 10. 2015?
So I think total for everything, including the company or
like for after school.
After school, yeah, somewhere there. 10.
Yeah, 10. Yeah. Total. Yeah. So like any advice that you want to tell people, because the job market right now is crazy, bro. I'm grateful for all of us who have jobs and whatnot, and I know that work from home situation, blah blah blah. It's crazy and. Thankfully, I work in a field where I get to work from home a few days, so it's amazing. But, like, any advice on people? 2 things. One, talk about, helping people find what they are supposed to do and, like, motivating them. But then, like, once they're in that field, like, how can you work towards achieving your goals?
I think for me, I guess my advice for newcomers is, don't be afraid to try something, you dislike at first,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
because that's actually what's gonna lead you to what you really like at
Yeah.
some point in the future.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Because I think right now a lot of people are, they're getting way too picky.
Yeah.
Job gets,
Yeah.
very competitive and things like that. But
Yeah.
I think trying out something that like it's not an actual fit to
Yeah.
how I wanted to,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
give it a shot, because that's actually what's gonna encourage you in the future to
Mm-hmm.
really know what you really really want,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my advice, I think.
Okay. Yeah. My advice is like kind of very aligned with Reby, but try to have people around you to help you find out what you're good at, right?
Mhm.
Use the skills you have and things that you're good at. And, depending on your economical status and your dreams, I believe in dreams. I support dreams,
Mhm.
but I also believe in working to achieve your dreams, right?
Yes.
So being realistic about your situation, being realistic about, putting food on the table and all this type of
Mhm.
stuff of, prayerfully have people around you that support you, who help you push towards your dreams, but also build your reality right now.
Yep.
Right. So have a good support system around you that helps you kind of identify what you're good at, your
Mhm.
skills, and how that can translate to money. I had to encourage, my mom and, people around me. It's like, hey, just because you've done this one thing your whole life doesn't mean that doesn't translate to other businesses. Right.
Mhm.
I had one friend who did a lot of admin work when we were working at the church, and she didn't even realize she had the admin skills. And I was
Yep.
like, yo, so like, don't you realize like you have all these skills? And when you build your resume, translate that to
Mhm.
the way the business you're applying for understands that, right?
Exactly.
Because a lot of times, like, roles aren't transferable when you're changing
Mhm.
businesses and all this. So you got to learn the different roles of what am I good at and how does that help the business. And I think even in jobs, as Reby's talking about, it's like, what is your goal? What's your dream? And
Mhm.
sometimes you got to do the uncomfortable thing to achieve what you really want, right?
Mhm. Yeah, because you'll meet people,
Yeah.
on the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason, I remember when I started out, when I started working for the
Yeah.
airport also.
Oh, yeah, I remember you did that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was when Praveen was still in school. I remember that.
Oh, that was like a long time ago. Yeah, I remember that.
That was
Yeah.
like junior or senior year for him, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
bro.
that.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah, that was
was like
that's a
flashbacks,
throwback.
right?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
flashback. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember, I don't know, man. For some reason, I didn't like some of my coworkers, whatever, but
Yeah.
I do like seeing like new travelers come and go,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, cause I was a big salesman for like electronics and things like that. So sometimes they like to
Yeah.
spend time, waste time
Yeah.
until they start flying, right? So I like hearing stories
Yeah.
from like different people.
Yeah.
So they keep telling me, yeah, like I work as a model here.
Yeah.
I'm an engineer here. So it's just good to like, I don't know. It just opens up your mind to like what else
Yeah.
is there, kind
Yeah.
of thing, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so-
And you'll meet amazing people, man, wherever you go or the types of thing. One of the biggest enjoyment in all that you do is the people you interact with, right?
mhm.
So, encourage y'all, to pursue things and, tell us your stories of crazy interview things and funny interview stories or whatnot. If you guys set up cameras on your first interview just to see how you did, or also any funny job experiences or any things in what you guys feel that you've enjoyed your job or
Mhm.
things you're grateful for. But this was a very interesting episode, something lighthearted, something chill. We just want to talk about jobs and the current state of the world right now regarding that. So
Mhm.
thank you for checking out the call center. We're waiting for your call, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
Peace out, Girl Scout.